Friend Shalom Aleichem, Taanis Esther. The main reason for Taanis Esther, the Rosh brings from Rabbeinu Tam, is that we have a tradition that when Klal Yisrael went to war, they always fasted before they went to war. And on Taanis Esther, the Jewish people went to war against Amalek. And therefore, even though there's no record that they fasted, they must have fasted, as that is a tradition. However, there's a mystical reason for fasting on Taanis Esther. Really a very powerful reason. The Mekubalim teach us that when Haman made a decree and Hashem ratified it, Ki kesav asher nichtav b'shem hamelech v'nachtoim b'tabas hamelech ein lahashiv. It cannot be retracted. And therefore in every generation we need to reckon with the decree of Haman. And over the years we explained how in different times in our history the decree of Haman came out. In Tach v'Tat it came out, that's why you have a big Taf and a big Ches in the Megillah. Other years we were Zoicha to squelch Haman, that's why you have the small Taf Shin Zayin, the remes to the Nuremberg trials. But there's an idea that in every generation the decree of Haman is looming. The Sefer Hilchos Ketanos of Rabbi Yaakov Chagiz brings, why is Hashem's name not mentioned in the Megillah? Hashem does not designate his name on punishment. And since the Megillah records the decree of Haman, which looms in every generation, Hashem said, I don't want to be associated with it, so to speak. That's why when Esther said, Kisvuni l'doros, write me for all generations, the Chachamim said, no, you're going to arouse animosity of the nations of the world against us. How would that arouse animosity of the nations of the world against us? It's because they're going to see it's recorded that in every generation there's a decree of persecution against the Jewish people. And Esther said, no, it's already written in the Chronicles of Persia Media, so we're not adding anything by having it in the Megillah. Comes Rabbi Yaakov Chagiz, and this is quoted in length in the Chemdas Yamim, Chelek Beis, Perek Beis, Ois Daled, that the reason for Taanis Esther is because since in every generation the threat and the decree of Haman is looming, every year we need to try to abolish the decree of Haman. That's a very powerful reason for Taanis Esther. Every year there is an annual looming decree that we need to somehow deal with and be mavatel. By the way, in the Sefer Seder Hayom, Seder Hayom was Rav Moshe ben Machir. We had the zchus to be at his kever in the north in Sfas. He's the author of Moida Ani. He says an amazing reason for the mitzvah of Chayiv Inish Lebasume Bepuraya Ado Ayada. He says the reason is, since in every generation there's a looming decree of Haman, what we do is we drink, so to speak, until we drop. And in effect, we say, okay, yeah, we're like what Haman wanted. It happened to us. Okay, we fulfilled it. We did it. And it's a way of, so to speak, fulfilling the decree of Haman without it happening. Maybe that's why, some people when they go to sleep, you can't wake them. They're like they're dead. So that's also another way that they fulfill it. They drink a little bit and they go to sleep. But this all shows us the seriousness of the annual decree of Haman and how we have to try to be mavatal it. But at the same time, the great light of Purim, which is the greatest light in the history of the world, also the Chidah says is Chayzer v'Neyar, reveals itself annually on Purim itself. So, as we've mentioned many times, the calendar is a living calendar. Both the thread of Haman on Yud Gimel and the great light of Purim on Yud Daled repeats itself every year. Wishing everyone an easy fast and a Freilichen Purim.
Recording stopped.